everyone, and welcome to Trending in My Life. And I'm doing an update part way through the week this week because there's been a few things that have happened with our whole move situation. One of them was we went in the understairs cupboard where we had kept all the boxes flat packed from last time we moved, and we intended to get them out and start packing, and there must have been 50 boxes under there, and when we went in there were mouse droppings all over everything, so we've had to dispose of it, and we've now got to get a whole lot of new boxes to use for packing. So that was a bit of a setback. We've been to 2 viewings today. It's halfway through the week and it's Wednesday, and they went like this. The first one we went to, for a start off, was a lot further walk away from the station than we were expecting. There were buses that went along the bus route, but when you went away from the bus route, you then had to walk a bit as well to get to it. And it would have been more than the desired walk to the station, shall we say. You would definitely have had to bus both ways, which is an added cost but also added time, and sometimes wouldn't work like that because in the morning the buses would be crowded and you'd be standing, or they might go past because they were full and stuff like that. Anyway, it led on to a whole load of stuff about the location, but then when we got there, the agent that turned up to show us round wasn't the one that had given us details on the given us details over the phone and spoken then. And the one that arrived said, "Did he tell you it was dated?" Dated? Yeah. As soon as she said it, I thought, that sounds bad. And when we went inside, it was in a very poor state of repair. There were bits missing out of the flooring. It was wooden flooring and there was bits missing out of it where it had been broken and worn away. And through into the kitchen, every single one of the cupboard units at the bottom, there were chunks just ripped out of it, taken off it. I don't know whether they've been kicked off or pulled off or just collapsed over time. I don't know. And all of the metal, what they call white units, like your fridge and your was there a washing machine? Yes, I think there was a washing machine. But all those units, and the cooker, about that far up at the bottom was just rust, just all rust. And needless to say, everything was filthy dirty. And the bath itself was like a sea of flies all in the bathtub. We didn't go upstairs. And I think the agent knew what we were going to say. I mean, we had made sort of regular comments before we moved towards the back, where there was the bathroom and the kitchen were actually one behind the other, but yeah, it was just really bad. You felt like some crew should come in and gut the place and rip up the floor and put new floor down and take out all the kitchen and put new kitchen in. It was in that kind of state of repair. And there was a chimney that was completely open to the outside but not used, so the one radiator in a long room wouldn't have done any good at all because all the heat would have gone straight up the chimney and just escaped. So you'd be trying to heat the outside world. Yeah, it was just so bad. And I did ask, is the owner planning to do anything to it before tenants move in? And she went, nope. And it had been up for sale. In fact, the for sale board was still outside. But she says, yeah, he's taken it off the market now. And I thought, what you mean is he can't sell it? And I mean, we had noticed from the outside there were big cracks in the main wall outside as well. It seemed like structurally it wasn't that sound, never mind the inside. But yes, it was one of those things where it was slightly cheaper than the places we had been viewing, but at the same time not enough to prepare us for what it looked like. Not enough like that at all. Yeah, and then we went on to another place, and it was a beautiful living room, and the kitchen was marvellous, and upstairs the bathroom had been redone and looked spectacular. But the bedrooms and the carpet up the stairs and onto the landing looked really dirty, and although the agent said, oh yeah, they're going to get it cleaned, what I thought was it should be removed and replaced, not just cleaned, because when we went into the smaller of the two bedrooms, there were sort of rucks in the carpet. It wasn't evenly in place, so that wasn't good. And the size of the living room, dining room was sort of shuttered off, and there wasn't really a dining room. You walked into the house in a little corridor, turned right, and there was a table directly in front of you, but it wasn't being used as a dining table. It was as big as a dining table, but it didn't have chairs around it, and that would be because you walk straight in the house there and you'd be walking into where people were sitting. So that's presumably it was, I don't know, a display table perhaps, but or maybe once you had guests round, you could just not bother about them being all in the way of going in the hallway and up the stairs or anything. But I don't know. It was an odd arrangement, and there was an island in the kitchen, which was unusual, but the island had a hot plate on it. And there was masses of storage and kitchen units along one wall. And then there was this little island which you couldn't really sit at because you'd be cooking. You know, it's got the hot plate on it. And it was a very poor use of the space because they hadn't incorporated that hob into the length of kitchen units, of which there was a lot. It meant that there was no kitchen space at all. The island took up the space. You could only walk around it. You wouldn't be able to put anything in the kitchen. I mean, we have a zillion gadgets, but we keep them boxed up except when we're using them. And the kitchen cupboards were the kind of thing which had little shelves for smaller items. So I don't know, we'd have just had them all stacked against a wall, which is hardly great because you've got enough boxes stacked against walls when you move, and you've got to unpack it all. And that was the other thing. We kept going over it when we left, and we said, you know, kitchen's lovely except for the island being in the way, and the bathroom is fantastic, lovely shower, bath, and two windows as well, made it very light in there. But the bedrooms were definitely on the small side, and one didn't have any storage and the other one had some, but it wasn't very deep storage, and the way it was laid out inside, it didn't make it wouldn't be good for us. It's all right if you want to put rows of shoes and things and jumpers, but if you want to put actual boxes in there to store things, then there wouldn't have been space. So when we came away, we discussed all the bits and pieces, and we said it's a very expensive house to rent, and we don't think it ticks all the boxes for that kind of price. 2 rooms do, but, you know, not the bedrooms. So, yeah, that's as far as we got. So we spent today doing that, chasing it up, and and getting it organised, and then went to see them, and they were one extreme to another from the condition of the house, but nevertheless neither of them are right for us. And honestly, we are not being picky about this. I mean, the first one would definitely should be condemned, is how I feel about it. Never mind tenants moving in. And the second one just was too pricey for the money, and there was too many little things the matter with it. Not enough space for us, definitely. I mean, and the other thing was, it was situated in like a valley, so the broadband wasn't good there, and also it was right on a very busy main road, so you'd have buses and lorries and stuff going, you know, past your front window, very close to your front window, and it's not like houses of this age are like soundproofed or anything. So yeah, still looking. God. Do have one fixed up for Saturday at the moment, but it's quite likely that I'll put this out instead before then, so that you're caught up on how it's going so far. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and come back next time. Bye for now.